nERD bOX.
Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, and on this episode we are going to be talking about Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. Maybe that's a sneak preview of what this review is going to be for me. Anyway, fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
Latest installment in the G.I. Joe franchise is a reboot and tells the origin story of Snake Eyes and his arch-rival, Storm Shadow. After witnessing his father's execution as a child, Snake grows up a loner and trying to feed the angst left behind from that day until he crosses the wrong path with the Yakuzas and their leader, Kento.
He is taken in by Tommy, a Rajakaj, who then flees with him to Japan. Tommy is the future leader of the Rajakaj clan. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. And he sees Snake as an honorable warrior that can stand by his side. He takes helm of that position. Snake, he seeks to find inner peace with his past. Only the Yakuza have aligned with Cobra, led by the Baroness, and have found their way to Japan, with Kenta seeking to destroy the clan. This was, well, let me start by this. I'll say it this way. I am a lifelong G.I. Joe fan. I knew going into this movie that they were going to be making changes to the origin and how Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow came about. Let's face it, you can be a comic book fanboy, but times have changed. There's 30, 40, sometimes 60 years between the original origin stories and the origin stories that we're going to get now. So, technology has advanced, time has advanced, and the Nazis aren't really driving anything anymore. So, origin stories are going to change, and you just have to adapt with it. And that's what I did. So going into this here, I didn't try to watch any trailers besides the ones that they just showed in the movie theaters, because I didn't want to get any pieces of information going into it. Like I said, lifelong G.I. Joe fan. Read the comics, had the toys, watched the cartoon movie. It was G.I. Joe and Spider-Man for me as a kid. How they changed the origin story is another thing. So I'll give you my views as we're going along from the G.I. Joe fan perspective and then just as a regular moviegoer. What did you have to think about the story that it was laying out as we were watching?
The story was all new to me because I did play with G.I. Joes when I was a kid, and I did watch the cartoon. My brother watched it as well, but I wasn't like a hardcore, I don't read comics, so I never read the comics, and I wasn't like hardcore following the storyline or how it came to fruition or any of that. So this was all new to me.
Right.
I know who Snake Eyes is, I know who Storm Shadow is, I know Cobra. That's about as far as it goes for me. So that being said, I loved the actors. I love Henry Golding. Mm-hmm. I actually, myself, I first came across him in A Simple Favor and loved him. And I actually watched Crazy Rich Asians because he was in it, and it wasn't so bad. And of course, he's in one of my favorite movies, The Gentleman. We have watched it at least 10 times. We just watched it the other night. And the guy who plays Storm Shadow, Andrew Koji, was amazing. I really, really liked him as that character. Overall, I liked it. I liked the story. I liked the action, the fighting. I liked it.
Now, non-G.I. Joe fan speaking. Going into the movie, as you mentioned, Henry Golding. I seen that. It's like, all right, I'll go see the movie because he's in it, right? And then, scrolling through social media 2 weeks ago, then I learned that Samara Weaving was in it. And it's like, damn it, I didn't want to know that she was in it. I rather would have been surprised on it. And so there you go, 2 ups right there. You have Henry and Samira in the movie. All right, looks good. And as we're going along, the storyline, is again changed. All right, and we're seeing this guy that's filled with angst, and he's going through whatever he can do to quell that fire in his belly for seeking revenge. And I thought that was an okay beginning to the story. And how Tommy's introduced, and they're paired together. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know going into the movie who Storm Shadow was going to be. Like I said, I tried to avoid that stuff. So when I saw him pull out the double blades in the fight scene in the beginning of the movie, I fangirled it and start slapping her legs like, that's Storm Shadow, there he is! One of my favorite characters with snake eyes. So that was cool to see. And then, we go over to Japan after this fight scene with the Yakuza, and we're going through the trials to try to seek inner peace and for him to, Snake Eyes, to become a noble warrior. And I'm thinking, it's like, okay, need a little bit more, maybe Japan style into it. It just didn't feel right, like I would see in other type of movies that were similar to this. If I think of like Kill Bill and seeing the bride go through all the training to become a warrior and so forth, felt that was a little lacking in this movie.
I agree. That part was definitely lacking as far as the training and stuff goes. Yeah, that was lacking. And
then, because I thought that was cool, but I think if they would have elaborated on it a little bit more, put a little bit more mythos behind it, I think that would have been better. And then the fighting for me, I think maybe I just expected too much from the fighting. I thought the fighting could have been done better. There was a lot of new cool fight scenes that they had in it, but I thought it could have been a little bit better. I thought it was lacking there. And then towards the end of the movie, where you kind of had almost like a superhero grouping of the characters coming across the bridge, it's like, that was not needed. Now, from the G.I. Joe perspective, I sent sent a message to my friend after I got out of the movie at 1:30 in the morning, and I just said, I can't say it because I'm going to give spoilers away. But it was filled with a lot of expletives about one character in the movie, and if you know G.I. Joe lore, you'll find out why. That's it. Anyway, so...
Yeah, see, I don't know what he's talking about, because like I said, I'm not some diehard G.I. Joe fan. It was more so something that I watched and played along with because I had a younger brother. That's about as far as it goes for me.
The changes, you didn't really have to do it to the extreme that they did. The origin of Snake Eyes is, that he crosses path with Storm Shadow after his family's killed in a car wreck. He goes to train at, the clan with the clan, and they're being trained by Hardmaster, who's in the movie. And what happens is Hardmaster is, doing the repetitions, like he's picking up on Snake Eyes' fighting style. And Cobra Commander had sent Zartan out to kill Snake Eyes because he's the survivor of that car wreck and blah, 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 blah. And Zartan shoots the Hardmaster with Storm Shadow's arrow, signature arrows, and Storm Shadow is banished because of that. And then there's a whole feud that erupts between Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, blaming each other for this. You still could have did that today, I think. And they kind of toyed with that throughout the story, with, how people are interacting with each other throughout the movie, and then towards the end of the movie. But what you did to one of the characters what really pissed me off. So, going to leave it at that. Like I said, action could have been a little bit better. Storyline was, if I didn't think of it as a G.I. Joe movie, I think it's middle of the road with a lot of the other action movies that we've seen come out. But Henry Golden, Samara Weaving, I like her. She kicks ass in movies, Ready or Not.
They didn't show enough of her in this movie. Yeah.
They gypped us out of Scarlett and her role in it, because Samara Weaving is a badass in a lot of the movies that she is in now, and I expected that in this movie, and I did not get that.
And the part that she was in, she was totally badass, but then she just kind of disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just never showed up again. I don't know what that was about. I was a little confused.
So that was a little bit of a cheapening of the film. So, what do you think, or what do you rate it?
I'm going to give it a C-.
C-? Mm-hmm. I thought you would have given it a higher mark.
No. Why? Because Henry Golding?
No, because I thought you really liked the movie. I agree with you. C-. So, I thought you were going to give it like a B or something like that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
G.I. Joe fan? D. But we digress. Ah, boy. I can't believe they did that. Anyway, I've had a conversation with, somebody that, we talk to reviews about all the time, and he really loved the movie, and we would like to know what you think of the movie. So, leave that in the comments on YouTube, leave it on Facebook. Did you like the movie? Do you watch a lot of martial arts movies? How does that fall into the realm against other ones that are out there?
Where does G.I. Joe fall in your life?
Yes.
Was it something that was around when you were a kid, or were you too old or too young for it, and what did you think based on that?
Yeah, I'll tell you this, sneak preview on a future 5 things featuring Ed from Ed's Retro Geek Out. We talk about G.I. Joe, so you'll get to hear a little bit more on how that revolves into this review, I guess. But yeah, so you know what to do. Like, share the video, share it, it's free, it takes 2-3 seconds. When you come to the channel, hit that notification bell as well so that you'll be aware of any future videos that are coming out from the Popcorn Confessional, from 5 Things, from future shows, from Donna Jean's Coffee House of Horror. So, we appreciate you. We like that you guys are watching the videos, those of you that are, and we like to hear from you. So
don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. Until the next, see ya.
See ya.